What's going on, guys? So today we're talking Zippos for a moment. This is something I know I've talked about before. I probably even have a video on it from years ago, but I just had a conversation with someone about it, so I figured it'd be good to remake a video and show you this little tip or trick for keeping spare flints in your Zippo. All right, so here's my most recently carried Zippo with the logo on it. Super cool. I want to keep a spare flint in here. I actually use the one I used to keep. This is a little extra jar of flints. I showed this before too. And of course you can get flints in different colors. The quality, for me using, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 total since I've gotten this little tube. I don't really see a huge difference in the performance of any of these colors. They could just literally be coated in a color. So I'm going to grab a red one just so it's easier to see here for you guys. And I'm going to show you where I pop these. And it's so simple. And it's so easy. And the next time you go to light your Zippo, right now I ran out of fluid. I'm going to fill this up too. When you run out of fluid, or excuse me, when you run out of your flint, and the wheel gets really hard to move, it gets really stiff to move because what's happening is the wheel is pushing on the spacer. Now, right now that is a flint, but the spacer happens to look the same color. It's like a goldish color, right? It's a little brass piece. And it's hard to turn, and there's obviously no sparks, all right? So if it feels like it's jammed up, either your flint got super small and turned sideways and it did jam, or you just need a flint, right? So when you need a flint, you pop a new one in, but if you're out and about doing something, what are you going to go to the store and buy a pack of flints? I guess you could, but you should just store one. Now you see the bottom of our insert here. This one actually has it printed on here. It says lift to fill. That hole is not to fill your fluid. So many people do that. I've seen that countless times. It seems like it makes sense. Oh, there's a little hole here. That's where I squeeze the fluid in. No, you actually lift this up to saturate all of the rayon or cotton that's on the inside. So you can kind of pick the fiber. Sometimes this one I push down a little bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my knife, all right, and just lift it up with that. You don't necessarily have to. If you pick at the little fibers, eventually you can get it to pull up. Like if you start picking at it and it gets about that high, then it's easier to kind of come in and grab the corner and actually lift it. So when you're filling this with fluid, you want to lift it all the way, put the nozzle here kind of on an angle so you fill that side, and you want to fill it until you kind of just see the fluid level go up, and that's it. Just let it saturate or whatever. But that little hole we're going to use to put our spare flints. Now what you can do is you can lift this up and you can put a bunch of flints in here, right? What you also can do, which I would recommend, is if you buy a spare wick, sometimes you can get a kit where you get like a pack of lighter fluid, you get a wick and a pack of flints. That's fantastic because you could take the extra wick and put the wick under here, all right? And you could put, like I said, 5, 6, 10, 50, whatever you want underneath the pad. But I like to just keep one right in the hole here. It's almost like it's meant for it, all right? So I just slip it in and push it down, and that is it. All right, so now I have a spare flint. When I want to use it, I take my knife or multi-tool or a little pocket tool, whatever I have, to kind of lift this up. And once I lift it up here, let me go ahead and push that down. Lift it up, you can use the point to kind of push through the other side of the hole, and that gives you enough space to pull that out and then use it. Okay, super simple. All right, so now if I run out of a flint, I don't have to go looking for them, even though I know where these are. The idea is that I just go ahead and take the insert out. And you could do this without any tools at all. In fact, I'll change it here just to show you for the video here. But you take this out, you can use the edge as a screwdriver. All right, flathead screwdriver, just to initially get that loose. Then use your fingers. All right. Lift this up. You can see that's a spacer I was talking about before. If you haven't seen that before, tap that. There's our old flint. It's kind of a waste because it's totally new, but I'm showing you anyway here. All right, lift that up. Push the other side of the hole through just a little bit. Take our spare flint, drop it in the tube. All right, just like so. Put our spring back in with our spacer. Make sure that spacer's still there. When you first push this in, there's going to be pressure. What I like to do is keep it flat on the thumb. All right, get those threads real close, and then just rotate the lighter in your thumb, just so that you at least catch 1 or 2 threads. All right. There's been many times where this flew across the room, and then the spacer comes off, and then you can't find it. That's a huge pain. All right, so you want to tighten this down as much as you can by your hand, and then use that lid if you want, just a tiny little, just a little extra, little something. Obviously, you can mar it up, you know, chip off the paint and stuff, so be careful with it. All right, and the first couple times it's gonna be a little rough, but then once the wheel creates that little bit of a groove in there, you're good to go. So now I have a brand new flint. In this case, I'm gonna go ahead and take my old flint and just pop that in there. So when the new one runs out, I have a half a one ready to go. So this way we're not wasting it, even though I have plenty. All right, and that's it. So in this case, I'm gonna keep this out. I'm gonna shut the video off because the point of the video is over, but we're gonna go ahead and fill this with some lighter fluid. And so you know what, hey, let me just grab right now. Hang on a second. Why not? Already here anyway, right? Okay. We got some Zippo fluid here. Pop this up. And I have other videos on this stuff too. So when I fill it, I lift up the cam there, put it upside down in the case so the extra drips inside the lighter and not on the table or anywhere else. Lift this up totally. Alright, turn this. Use light pressure just to push out the fluid. You see how I'm tilting this. Alright. And then I'll leave it flat. That's an attempt to just saturate the stuff all the way to the left. Now hold on a second. I'm not gonna, I want to zoom in so you guys can really see this. Alright. The second I can see the fluid level is when I'm going to stop adding it. And that's going to be right about there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see the fluid level go up just a little bit past the rayon, right? So you can see this is already saturated, this whole piece here. All right, let's push that down. Now as I push it down, this is almost too filled now. So I push it down, it gets all wet. That's a little bit too much. You can always go back and fill more. You don't really want to overfill it. In this case, I would probably leave like this, exposed to the air, let some of that evaporate. But for the sake of the video, so you don't have to wait, let's go ahead and just flip this upside down in the case. Put our cam back down. When you first light this, you have lighter fluid in your fingers. It's on the outside of the case. So it's possible that it's going to light on the outside, so just be careful. Get ready to blow it out. Alright. If I have any on my fingers, I usually just do this. It just dries it. If I have a lot on my fingers, it lights my fingers on fire and then just blow it out real quick. As long as you're very fast with it, you're not going to burn yourself or anything. I also tilt it around so if there's any on the case, it just kind of burns it up real quick. Alright. Let that do its thing for a second. And again, I mean, in this case, I'm going to leave it open. I'm going to blow this flame out because I don't want it to get too hot. If you watch my old videos where you just leave a Zippo lighter lit for a long time, that doesn't end well. So I'm just letting this warm up a little bit. We'll blow it out. All right, keep in mind, you know, this gets hot very quickly. The sheet metal that is the insert, it retains a lot of that heat, so it doesn't have to be lit that long for this to get super hot. So you're going to touch this, you're going to burn yourself, right? You only want to really make contact with that wheel. But once the video is done, I'm going to leave this open so some of that fluid could evaporate. I'll leave it for like 10-15 minutes, and then I'll come back and shut it, and then we're good to go. All right, so now we have a brand new flint and fluid. All right. And our Zippo is back in business. All right, and as a bonus, I'm sure you guys have seen this before too, but if you bend your wick, you can kind of change the flame a little bit, right? So if you look at this, it's about, I don't know, it's hard to judge. That's about how high you'd want your flame, but let's say you want your flame a little bit lower. You can push that wick in towards your wheel. All right, it's almost touching the wheel. I don't know if you could tell, but it is slightly lower. All right, conserves a little bit more fuel. If you really jam it down there, you can get it to be, you know, barely lit. And then on the opposite side of things, you can push it away from the wheel. All right, and that will create a larger flame. See how it's further away? See how that's a much larger flame? So if you want a big old flame, that's what you do. But I don't want a big old flame, just waste fluid. You know, it looks kind of cool. So we're going to get this kind of straight in the middle. This is what it looks like, how it's supposed to be, just straight out of that hole. Alright, so now when we light it, we have kind of a medium flame. Alright, there we go. There's our new flint, and, you know, filled up the whole deal here. I just wanted to show you where that flint goes, but, you know, for people who don't see all the other videos, maybe you sat through this one, you learned a bunch of stuff all at once, right? Makes it easy. So there you go. Flints are cheap. You can get these off of Amazon. I want to say I got these from Temu, you know, a long time ago for, who knows, $3 or whatever. I think it was 100 of them or something silly, like a huge amount. They work. They're fine. You know, you don't have to get name brand, but if you do like the Zippo Flints, just because, I mean, it has a cool dispenser, I'll definitely say that. But look on Amazon, they definitely have kits where you get like a bottle of fluid, not this big, but you get the smaller canister of fluid. Sometimes it'll be like gift packs where you'll get actually a Zippo, pretty plain one usually, but plain Zippo. You'll get the canister, and sometimes they'll give you, you know, a pack of the Flints, but you can just get the accessories. You could just get a spare wick. So when the wick is no good, you can take that out. Which, by the way, when these get burned up, you want to pull up on the wick. Take your pliers, pull up so you have fresh wick, cut off the top part, because eventually that cotton part of it gets worn away and then it doesn't light. It's another reason why a lot of Zippos don't light. See how all the vapors filled up the inside there? So again, I'm going to leave this open for a little bit, let it dry out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I love my Zippo stuff. I did go back to carrying one for a little bit there. I love this, the case. I designed this case years ago for CountyCom, and I still love it. I mean, they work fantastic. I had a gray one. I had this nice OD green. I had a black one. You can check the site. Maybe they still have them. I haven't looked in a while. But I love it. It's awesome. Just carry it on the waist. Very simple. All right, little loop. Also have the button. All right, so you can pop this on and off without having to take off your belt. And then I also made it so that the inside doesn't scratch you, because I wanted the Velcro and the button snap, but the inside of the button is not exposed at all. All right, so it's not going to, you know, scratch your Zippo up. If you have like a sentimental Zippo or a cool image you don't want to get ruined, you don't have to worry about it. So, yeah. But that's pretty much for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.